Psychology reveals that people who talk to themselves create imaginary scenarios and replay full conversations in their minds, often seen as harmless, but in reality, it's the brain's way of self-regulation, a coping mechanism. When the outside world feels too distant to understand, the mind becomes both the speaker and the listener, creating a safe space to express what can't be spoken out loud. In those inner dialogues, people rehearse answers to questions no one has ever asked. They build arguments, win them, lose them, and say the words they may never have the courage to voice in reality. The brain designs a complete system where one person plays both sides of every conversation. Psychology suggests that while this habit can bring emotional clarity, it also carries a hidden cost. Over time, the person becomes so fluent in their inner dialogue that real conversations, messy, vulnerable, unpredictable, start to feel impossible. And perhaps that's why the most difficult battles are often fought in silence, within the walls of one's own mind. But what psychology doesn't tell you is this: the mind doesn't start talking to itself without a reason. It only begins when the world outside becomes too heavy to carry, and silence becomes the only friend that doesn't interrupt. People who talk to themselves aren't crazy. Most of the time, they're the ones who think the deepest. They replay what they wish they said, rewrite what they regret, and prepare for things that may never happen. In their minds, they practice courage they don't feel yet. They practice honesty they're afraid to show. They practice confidence they've never been allowed to express. But day by day, thoughts become conversations. Conversations become stories. And stories become entire worlds that feel safer than reality. Soon, the mind becomes a place where you win arguments you lost in real life. You hear apologies you never received. You explain your pain to people who never listened. And you finally say the truth you swallowed for years. And while this brings comfort, it carries a silent danger. The more perfect the world inside becomes, the more disappointing the world outside starts to feel. Why talk to people who misunderstand you when your mind understands every word without explanation? Why open up to someone who might leave when your inner voice never does? That's when self-regulation becomes self-isolation. The mind becomes both the protector and the prison. Psychology says inner dialogue helps emotional clarity, but it also creates emotional distance. The kind where real connections feel heavy and imaginary ones feel easier. And here's the truth most people never admit. We don't talk to ourselves because we enjoy it. We talk to ourselves because we're afraid that if we stop, we might finally hear the loneliness we've been avoiding. But if you do this, you're not weak. You're not strange. You're not broken. You're human. Just someone who learned to survive in silence long before anyone offered to listen. And maybe, just maybe, the world would hurt a little less if people tried to understand us the way we understand ourselves. Subscribe.